Got a pretty nice day today, so thinking I'm gonna take a little break from working and go find out if I can take out first and second gear in this thing. So pretty sure third and reverse is gone. The clutches are probably fried in it, but I think first and second are still there. So we're gonna grab my wife after I fire the thing up and kind of check some fluids and head on over to the dunes and see what it does. I don't have anything lined up for my trans, but with how nice it is today, you can see how sunny it is. It's like 52 out right now, so kind of want to get out there. There's been people bumming by my house all morning headed out there, so days like this is kind of why I live here, be able to grab this thing and head on out there. We'll just try to not overdo it and kill the thing. I think I might have some air in my power steering lines. I replaced a line the last time I went and felt good when I left, but as it warmed up, it kind of was coming and going. So I'll kind of monitor that today. I'm probably not going to do anything today about it, but I have a reservoir I want to add in there to get more. I think I'm having a return issue. It's like I'm not getting enough return. So yeah, other than that, fire this thing up and start going over some checks.
Till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. I send the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
Ripping some laps and just kind of doing some checks, and this is one of those things. My this upper link mount, this bolt likes to back the nut inside there, backs off quite often, so I gotta keep an eye on it. And just parked here in front of like Test Hill and noticed that it's loose, so crawling onto here, tightening this one up. I'm gonna check the uppers. You know, this is that type of stuff that like I pretty much every like 2 to 3 trips I make sure I'm checking this because it's loosening up on me. So I've had this thing fall off before and squat the truck all over to the side because the whole bar ended up popping out, the whole bolt fell out and everything. So that wasn't that fun. It makes it harder to fix that way.
I got cuts real deep in, bruises scarred. I had to learn how to think with my head and my heart. I've been chewed up, spit out, torn apart. But picking up all the pieces is a form of art. Never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move.
Alright, we got a new switch hooked up, so let's turn our power back on. Still nothing. Oh, actually, we got... Oh, okay. We do have power. We do have power to other things, so it's just at here. So now I'm gonna have to trace the fuse. So I'm gonna have to get all the way out. So yeah, broken fuse. So the switch wasn't bad, but the fuse, if you see it in there, the fuse popped. So not sure why the fuse popped. I've never popped one of those. So I'll have to check my wiring. I could have some wiring shorting out. That's very plausible with this thing. So yeah, hopefully I should have some fuses in my spare bag. So that's another good thing to have is a fuse.
You ever need? I've got so many of them right now.
Do you have those 4.8s?
I just bought another Gen 4 4.8.
Oh, okay.
It's got probably 3 4.8s, a couple 6 liters.
All right, I'll keep it in mind.
Buying junk cars and scrapping them out.
And just taking all the, yeah, taking everything.
Cool. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, you too, man. Have fun. Man, maybe I am bend blowing these because this is my last one. I could try putting a 20 in there though. Everything else down there is a 20, so let's just put a 20 in there. Got the fuse swapped out. Oh, I think it's, there we go. Fuel pump's back, so yeah, just blew a little fuse. That's kind of one of the things with my YouTube though, trying to show you guys and actually film more. This is literally like every trip. This is like a super normal thing for me. Wiring's not that great. Every wire is on here is red, so I have to like trace everything always back to my fuse block. I forget what's what, but it kind of is what it is. For whatever reason, my fuel system kind of has issues. I haven't popped a fuse in a long time, so like I said, I'm gonna have to check some wiring and see if I got a short somewhere, but we're ready to rip again for now.
And that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
What up? What up? I just died. I don't know, I just died. Maybe we're out of gas, I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit. Truck.
Yeah, I don't really want to run. We'll see how empty she sounds.
Sounds pretty empty.
Is it? Uh-oh. Kind of acts like it's empty. Just got back from the dunes and washing the truck up. Still, this thing is freaking dirty. All that, like, you can see right where it's dry. All that kind of like, I don't know, that film that gets left on there. All that's still on there from that trail run I did last fall. So I washed this thing with a rag and a brush and some Simple Green like 3-4 times now, but it's still on there. So still scrubbing away kind of every trip I go out. All in there. It's all over my seats. But yeah, pretty good. For taking the trans out, I didn't know how the trans was going to act. It actually had third gear driving down the road. Once I got the thing up to temp, third gear wasn't wanting to hold, so just ripped around in first and second, and that was fine. So I only drive the thing like 35 mile an hour down the road to get there anyway from my place. So yeah, kind of washed up, back from another trip, second trip of the year. So it was like 52 degrees out today. Couple little, I must have short in my fuel pump system because I popped 2 fuses. I have 2 different fuses, one from the switch and one from the power block going back, and I popped each one of those today. So I must have a short in the system. So I'll have to take a look at that. I run a Warroll 255 pump. It's an in-tank pump. So maybe I have a ground that's like corroded and rusty I need to take off and clean up. So that tends to happen quite a bit on this thing, usually yearly. So it's kind of where I'm at, just getting the thing out, seeing where it's at for the year. You know, I obviously got to fix the tran, but it's working for now. Go rip a little bit, and other than that, super happy with everything else. I do want to do some shock adjustments. You know, I backed it down a little bit today and just didn't run it as hard and wasn't smoking the bumps on a bunch of stuff. So yeah, just getting more dialed in, get those shocks apart. Once I actually get those shocks apart, I'll kind of show you what I'm doing, and some different stuff that I've already done to those shocks. They're internal bypass. The coilovers are. These coilovers are the Fox internal bypass coilovers. So they're a 2.5 shock body, but they actually have a 2.0 tube inside with a 2.0 piston. So if you don't know what those are and how they work, I can show you once I rip into those. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Another trip to the dunes. All good to go. So put it back in the garage and get back to work on Bronco stuff. Working on getting the gusset for my truss on the axle I've been working on cut out now. There's going to be a right and a left side, so we're working on cutting out the bigger one right now. It's cutting out the holes, then I'll be dimple dyeing. I think now it's going to start cutting the outside profile, so I'll get this one cut, and then I got another one to cut. And then clean them up and dimple them. So now I'll clear this one, and I will pull up my other side. I think this one. Yep, there's the other side. So where do we want to cut this one? Maybe we'll go up here over in this corner. Just setting my coordinates for the machine to know where it is. So zero out my X and my Y, my Z. Hit a cycle start, and there we go. We're cutting the next program. So there we go. So that's one side of my truss. And then I'm going to dimple those holes, and once I get this other one cut out, I'll get them on the axle and kind of show you that. I just set the gussets in place. I haven't even cleaned up the slag off them or anything yet. And pretty dang close. I knew I was going to have to notch this little corner out for this bevel here, so I'm a little high there, and you can see that I'm a little high on all these. And then it should get inset a little more deeper in. So actually, for taking a tape measure and jotting down some measurements, pretty happy with that. So, and then obviously I put some reliefs in here because I didn't really want to fully seam weld this whole thing across. Don't really need that much weld. The main things I was going for is getting point of contact on the diff. This is going to get welded right up in here. And then these will get welded to the axle tube. And then it comes all the way to this cast piece and will get welded in here as well. So the other side, that's how that one's looking. You can see the slag from my cutter I haven't even cleaned up yet. This one I'm gonna have to probably do a little more trimming. I knew I didn't radius these corners at all because I wanted to do it with a flap wheel and kind of get it in myself, get it as tight as possible. So that's pretty much probably where I'm gonna call this episode for the week. Kind of, I'm out of gas, so I've got to load my bottle up, go get another bottle, clean these up and dimple them, and finish welding out this truss, and then pretty much the front axle's done. And I'm gonna be next putting it back in the Bronco and getting the shocks and the bumps and all that stuff on it. So kind of where we're at. Pretty pumped on how things are kind of turning out. Really haven't shown you too much probably. Those are the bump pads. The axle's upside down right now, so you can't really see, but bump pads are fully welded on. The link mount is fully welded on. So the truss is the last thing. The truss, the shock mounts, and limit strap tabs is the only oh, you know what? All right, the list keeps growing, so I'm just gonna call it here because there's way more work. Yeah, stay tuned. Next week, I'm hoping to have shocks and bumps on this thing, cycling a whole front axle with full suspension. So stay tuned next week.